Hi everyone, welcome to the Monday weekly video. I'm Katja, I'm an inner deep dive coach, and my work is really revolving a lot around inner child's work, the unconscious or the subconscious mind. And yeah, this is the realm where I just keep finding myself in, and where I found deepest transformation possible for myself and for clients as well. So if you follow me on social media, the last week I've been talking a little bit more about the unconscious and subconscious work and why I find it so powerful, and also how to actually access the unconscious or the subconscious mind. You know, I think often we talk about this, but I definitely can say that I didn't even know how to access it. Back in the days, I knew that it was possible with psychedelics, but without psychedelics, how could that be possible? And it is absolutely possible. So what I found really powerful and effective is going at it through the body mind, the body consciousness. And to me, the body consciousness is the unconscious mind, because all our unconscious behavior or thought forms, they live inside this body. So if we start listening to the body, we access or tap into the unconscious spheres of our consciousness. And how do we do that? Through the body. Like in my work, we very simply just focus on physical sensations, and also either look what emotion is linked to that physical sensation, or when there's an emotion, we look at how, as a physical sensation, does this emotion show up in the body. So this sounds probably pretty abstract if you don't know this type of work, and you'd be like, why the fuck would I do that? And I get it, but it is really, really powerful, and it surprises me again and again that how it works. And to really get it, you need to do it. And I can not really, or I'm not planning to show you this in this video, because it's so individual, and from my personal experience, it's just the most useful when we do it one-on-one, and one person, the coach or the therapist, guides the client in the inner exploration. So that's what I do in my one-on-one work, and that's like pretty much the coaches, the people that I keep seeking out, also body-based therapists that I worked with last year. I do this kind of work because it's, to me, it's the most powerful and rapid transformation. Now, rapid transformation is a bit of a dangerous term to say in the personal development and healing world, because this brings me to my other point in this video. So much in this personal development work and healing work, we apply this patriarchal, competitive, or like this go-getter mindset, and we go about it and say, okay, I just need to do this training, or I just need to do this program, or I just need to go see this therapist for 6 months, and then I will be done. And we have this very linear approach to healing and to our personal development. But the thing is, what I found over and over again, and what I hear other people say as well, is that this journey does not end. The healing journey goes on and on, because what I experienced at some point when I was at a certain depth of healing my inner child wounding, like my wounding from this life, then wounding from other lifetimes came in. And you could say it's either my soul who lived in other lifetimes, or it's just the baggage that my ancestors kept passing on, because obviously my ancestors didn't have these amazing tools to work through their trauma after war or during war. And here we are, feeling that survival mode, that harshness, that incredible fear of existence still in our bodies if we look deeply enough. And then there is other stuff. As women, we have a lot of baggage as well. So, you know, I think collectively we are healing, and until there are, or as long as there are even still other women in this world living suppressed, or if there even are still other men who are suffering, you know, if there are still people on the planet suffering, in pain, than we are as individuals too, because we are so sensitive, because we are so empathic, because we are connected to each other. So we feel each other, and we just keep on transmuting that energy and sending out new energy of integration and more healed, clarified energy, if you want to call it like that. So yeah, I wanted to really speak to that point, that healing doesn't really end. And so I've met people, and I was definitely one of those, and I still am sometimes, because it's tricky to get out of that mindset. It takes time, that we just want to be done already. Like, we've done so much personal development work, like we've reflected so much. Why is it not already done? So yeah, I just want to remind all of us that we are on this journey literally together, healing together and healing each other and healing with one another. And that's, yeah, it can feel like a lot of work sometimes, but in the end, to me, it's what we came here to do. Like, we came here to thrive on this planet, and like, healing and living a beautiful life doesn't have to be separate. We can be healing and still have a life that is fulfilling and enriching and feels good. So yeah, we don't always have to only focus on healing. And there's definitely a healing trap that I got caught in as well, and I think it happens to the best of us. But yeah, it's okay. Like, to me, it's the most rewarding path to look so deeply, to work with the unconscious, with the subconscious. This is where the inner child lives, and it's where our intelligence lives. It's where our creativity lives. It's also where our wisdom lives. It's where our intuition blossoms from. It's so much power in there. So yes, there is the pain, but it's in this pain where we have so much tenderness, gentleness, intelligence, and wisdom, once again. And yeah, I find it so useful to do this work. And I can say for myself that I'm currently also in a new transition phase. It feels like there's just a new layer that emerged that wants to be accepted and played with and explored and integrated, you know. So this is the other part I wanted to talk about, that we consciously often have this ideal picture of ourselves in mind, like how we want our life to be, how we want ourselves to be, and then our life looks different than what we want it to look. And I read this amazing quote once that said, your life is the reflection of your unconscious. And I think that's very, very true. And it's not even a quote. I heard it from multiple sources. So if you're looking around your life, that will give you an indicator of what's living in your unconscious, what belief systems are living there. So like, I don't know, for example, if you're just always dating people who are unavailable, who don't really want to commit to you, or whom it just doesn't work out properly with, then most likely somewhere in there lives a belief system that says, I'm not good enough to have a beautiful relationship. This is a very simple but very common theme. So now you may have even done so much personal development and reflecting work that you even know that. You know, deep down inside of me, there's a part that just feels unworthy of true love or of deep love. And you're like, okay, I know this, but it's still happening. What the fuck do I do? So, first step that we also seek in my work always is, can you find understanding and acceptance for that part of yourself that doesn't feel worthy of love, of a relationship? Because if you cannot find acceptance, if you cannot hold this part of yourself with tenderness and care, you cannot really move on. This part of ourselves, those belief systems, they act like an anchor. They're holding us where we are. And if we try to fly away or to move away and to just like do positive affirmations in the mirror every day, and if we just keep doing all the other work, getting our body in shape and doing all kinds of other stuff, if that belief is still there, thinking that you're not worthy of having this certain thing in your life, it will keep dragging you or holding you there. So this is what I also found is what's the word called? Talking therapy, like cognitive behavioral therapy. I did it myself for about 1.5 years, and I found it really helpful for getting some stability and for getting like a better overview over myself and for understanding myself better. But this type of therapy to me was lacking the work with the subconscious, the work with the body consciousness. So, and I heard this just recently from another person, in talking therapy, you get tools and you get ideas what you can do with yourself, how you can treat yourself. Like you develop, or at least you outline behaviors that are good for you. So for example, you will learn or you will talk about that it will be good for you to rather go for a walk than to emotionally eat. But here's the thing, knowing that the walk would probably be the better alternative than emotionally eating, that alone does not help. It does not seem to help for most people, because once again, this is the deeper lying belief systems that are holding us back, that are just like, I don't deserve to feel good, I don't deserve to feel beautiful, so why should I go for this fucking walk? This is literally the perspective of the unconscious that I was just representing. So we have to go deeper into feeling, because feeling is what accesses this subconscious realm. And I call it subconscious and unconscious because they are pretty close, but as I understand it and as I see it and as I learn it, and there's apparently different perspectives on this, so you can also find what resonates for you, but there's the conscious mind, like the stuff that we are just aware of, and then there's the subconscious, which is like the stuff that we are not aware of in daily life, where we have to like calm down a little, or we have to get our journal out and reflect to become aware of the subconscious stuff. But it's also still like more easily accessible. And then there's the unconscious world, which really requires a lot of deep inquiry and looking. And also what I found is that breath work, for example, like holotropic breathing, helps us access these deeper layers of our mind. So that's just a quick detour on that. And yeah, the importance to include the body mind, the body consciousness, to me is so crucial. Because like our head is just a pretty small portion of the rest of our body, right? But we experience life with this whole body. Like everywhere we go, we are there with the body. So we cannot expect ourselves to just understand something intellectually and then solve it. We have to tune in and see this past experience, that past painful experience. How does it show up in my body? Where does it live still in my body? How does it feel there? And then getting really intimate and acquainted with it and exploring it in different ways. Like, hey, what is your purpose in my life? What do you actually really want and need? And this is so important. Often these parts of ourselves just want to feel safe. This is why they also don't like change. And this is why it's so necessary to meet them with these kinder approaches, with compassion, with understanding, with kindness, with love, if love is possible, like, but just with acceptance, or just with even understanding, with just being like, oh, wow, this is why you are here. This is why you make me behave like this. This is so important. I can't stress this enough, because I again and again see people who are like, oh, I just wish this would already be gone, and I'm so stupid, I did this again. Or like they get really angry and upset about the certain pattern that keeps repeating in their life. But that actually makes it stay, because, as I also said, these inner aspects are quite often usually inner children that come from our childhood. And I just want you to imagine if you are this child and you fucked something up, and you're being scolded and shamed and shunned for that, how do you feel? Like, do you want to like go out in the world and enjoy it? Or do you just want to hide under a blanket and scratch yourself? And it's exactly the same when we are adults and want one thing and keep getting the other thing, or keep experiencing the other thing. If we keep shaming and shunning and making ourselves bad for it, we are perpetuating that cycle. And this is why I just recently saw a video that I did about a year ago about that. This is why doing this trauma healing, and trauma to me does mean nothing else than wound, and it's the Greek word for wound. Having our emotional wounds is, and healing them, working with them, is such a great recipe for spiritual advancement. You know, in the spiritual world, people often want to like get ahead and already be enlightened, and they ignore these hurting parts of themselves because they deem them not enlightened enough or not wise enough. But the thing is that these parts can teach us the greatest compassion and kindness that we can learn. It's right here with us. That's why they say you have everything you need inside. And through loving and taking care of and learning to be gentle and soft and kind and compassionate with these parts of ourselves, to be accepting, we learn all these great spiritual qualities that we want to embody anyways, right? So, yeah, I can't stress it enough. You have to be, if you want to get ahead in your personal development journey, you have to be kind to yourself for every fuck up you make. Like, how deep, I like to play this game with myself sometimes, how deep can my acceptance go? Like, for example, I fuck something up in my perspective, like in my opinionated mind, I fuck something up and I make myself, like I shame myself for that. And then, so I notice I can't right now accept I'm already shaming myself for what I fucked up, but I'm accepting myself for shaming myself. So that's like an example for how much your acceptance can, like it, you can, anytime you can wash in understanding or allowance for how you feel and how you think. It's about really allowing yourself everything you are experiencing, even when you are shaming yourself. Can you allow that? And for that, I'm going to link up there or there also my other video. It's a little meditation to get it more into the energy of allowing. Has a lot to do with the heart as well. So yeah, I wish you a beautiful week. I hope this video was interesting and gave you some insights. And yeah, maybe to what you can, as a practical tip, take away. See where in your life you're harsh to yourself and see what you can change. What behavior can you change? What thought pattern can you change? I know it's difficult. This is why there's so many coaches and therapists emerging these days, because it really helps to get help. So yes, I am promoting my work hereby, because this is what we're doing in my work. We're practicing to be with what we feel, because this is so key. The more we learn to be with our feelings as they are, not as we want them to be, but as they are, the more we can learn to relax. And when we're relaxed, healing takes place. And healing is, our body is self-healing. It's what we basically do is we give it the frame. We take ourselves out of the way so our body can reintegrate and reorganize and find a new equilibrium. That's really what we do, and what we get the body, give the body space for. Yeah. So yeah, well, that was a bit of a tangent I went on. I hope it helped you. If you liked it, please hit the like button. You can comment, you can also subscribe. And yeah, if you have questions, send them also to me. I'll be happy to hear from you, because I'm always curious who's watching my things and who is listening and who it's helping. I like hearing from you guys. So thank you, and have a beautiful week.